Check out the brand new releases for Grimskull miniatures over at wargameexclusive.com. Spiky bits. What's up, hobby maniacs? Baer back with you again today, taking a look at some really cool counts as and alternate models for the game we all love. Of course, these are representations for Warhammer 40k. They're the appropriate scale. Of course, they can be used for anything, sure, but you know, they kind of fit along into the game that we all know and love. This month they've got some new releases out. We got Greater Good gun drones, which are really neat little kind of like roly-poly type deals. Then they've got the Mechanic Adept Female Tech Priest Domina. And there's two versions of this. There's a pinup one, which is a little bit more exposed, if you know what I mean. And of course, this one here that's a little bit more covered up, you know, for those very cold Martian winters or summers, depending on how you look at it and where you're at on Mars there. And then, of course, Sisters, Saint Celestine Trinity, and the Space Wolf Prime as well. So first up, we're going to take a look at, what is this? Sister Saint Celestine's Trinity, which you're going to kind of make some interesting conclusions from once you see these miniatures. You know, what I like about their packaging, of course, this is going to come from Eastern Europe, of course. I think the Ukraine, to be precise. They're going to come very well packaged out, bubble wrap in a little bubble or in a little baggie inside of a box, inside of another box, inside of another box. So you don't have to worry about your stuff getting damaged. It comes actually shipping time is very good, very quick. Now, once you take a look at this, you're gonna be like, oh hey, that's probably Saint Celestine, and it's very similar. I can see the similarities here. But what I like about these miniatures, of course, it is the set of 3. They're going to come with custom design bases right here, which are very well done, very awesome, reminiscent of that 2nd edition, 3rd edition feel for Warhammer 40k. Got some ruin type deals right here. Some really cool, like, kind of vine work with little roses in it, which is very hard to see at first, but once I started getting in close, I was like, holy cow, these things are like super detailed. And then you got some rebar and other rubble here for these bases. And then 2 very similar miniatures, which are the Gemini twins, or whatever the counts as version is, and then Celestine herself. So let's take a look at her real quick. She is very cool. Like I said, this is a counts as, this is a representation of a miniature with angelic wings, I guess. I think it goes together something like this. But I mean, once you start looking at all of the detail in here, I mean, all of the threading, all of the little detail work in there, even the skulls and the roses in the side of the pinions right here, or the pinion support. I mean, it's just fantastic detail. I mean, you just don't see stuff like this coming out of a lot of studios out there. Now for the model herself, Celestine right there, very well done. I mean, let's zoom in a little bit so I can just show you how detailed this bad boy is right here. Okay, there's probably the best shot we're gonna get of this detail, but you can see it is incredibly well detailed. I mean, there is little crazy knurling and designs in her armor, the skull faces right there, even her face, the hair, it's all expertly well done. All of the detail on the back here, even the high heels, all the receptacles and sockets and things on her back are incredible. Like, the detail right there is phenomenal. Great, crazy sword right there, all sorts of little chain links. Of course, the iron halo, which goes up top there. Let's see if we can zoom in on this here. Get you a little better look, give you an idea of scale. Of course, the cape, a bunch of other accessories there, of course her legs, the backpack itself, which the pinions go into, and of course she has a dove, why wouldn't she? Right here is her arm that goes opposite her sword arm there, and then a little bit of ribbon and such. So it keeps true to the styling that we're used to with this particular miniature, but definitely takes it in a more of a steampunky kind of different type direction. Now she is kind of attached to this big base here, which I think is pretty phenomenal. Let's take a look at one of the Gemini. We don't have to bust both of them out because they're actually very similar, believe it or not, just judging by the pictures online. Now, this particular model set is 45 euros, so I guess that's about $50 plus shipping US, which I feel like is not that bad of a deal when you start kind of looking at the detail work and everything there. So there's a Gemini. She's got some very similar wings that are kind of interesting how they go together We'll take a look at that in a second. There's the pinion, and like I said, they're kind of back. They're like swept back, kind of like that. But you can check it all out over on Wargame Exclusive site. Obviously, very well done. And then, of course, you've got all the scrolls and stuff that will attach them down to their base right there. So, I mean, these are actually kind of hooded. But you can see, again, very well detailed, all of the knurling and everything, all of the fine details into there, very cyberpunky, very feel to it. And then the hooded respirator kind of head right there that you can see. Very cool stuff. It's all very well done. I love these miniatures. If I hadn't painted up a Celestine already myself, I would probably be painting up these right now as my kind of alternate counts as. I'm all about some alternate counts as sometimes. And I think, you know, as long as it is a fair approximation on the tabletop, I feel like you should be able to play with anything you want when it comes to that. Now, next up is the Wolf Prime, which is a rather larger miniature. You could almost say a Primarch-esque in scale. I'm sure it's meant to be kind of a Lehman Russ type figure, which you can tell right there is ginormous on a 40 mil base here. There's a piece of really cool looking shell with a rebar sticking out of it, a couple of rebars there, and lots of really good detail work in the base itself. Now, when it comes to the miniature, I'm sure you can tell this is pretty ginormous. Lots of fur detail right there, lots of Celtic markings and things, stuff we would come to expect. Looks like there's even a drinking horn right there. As far as the accessories go, we got a backpack with some wolf heads on it. Another ginormous wolf head here that's going to be on the shoulder pad. This crazy pelt, which looks like this slots in. Yeah, this slots in. That's kind of cool. So this kind of pivots in here like this. Yep. Wow, that backpack is ginormous. Look, check out the detail on that. That is crazy. And then it just slots in like that. That is really cool. Neat. I always love seeing this kind of things, this kind of stuff. There's a crazy... So he's got both an axe and a sword there, and so one ginormous wolf pad, one not, and then of course the leg is in a running pose there, and some sort of hose, and then you got, don't forget your top knot right there. So again, very well done detail wise. I mean, I cannot stress enough how detailed this miniature is, and of course it is the larger Primarch scale right there. You can check out all the fantastic hair, service studs, you name it, this model has it, right down to the little kind of wolf pattern boots and all the Celtic markings and such that you would expect to see. The Wolf Primus is $39.99 euros, so I guess that's about 45 give or take, plus shipping here in America. Now, next up is the Mechanic Adept Female Tech Priest Domina, which you can definitely use for an AdMech Domina, I suppose, if you were in the market for that. It is on the appropriate size base. Remember, there was a little bit of a snafu when this model came out from Games Workshop. They didn't come on the right size base, so looks like some Martian scrap metal on top of deserty kind of feel there. Now this, I believe these are two different types of artists, to be quite honest. I'm not exactly sure who they got in their stable over there at Grimskull Miniatures, but you can tell that it's two different, it feels like it's two different styles of sculptors here, which is really cool to see a studio doing that well and to have that ample amount of talent run around there. And here's the Domina, which is very well done. Lots and lots of cool little sensors that you can see there, and you've got the dress work and everything. The head, again, the respirator kind of type deal. Now this is the armored version, not the pin-up version that has a little bit more exposure in the front, if you know what I mean. And this particular one is a very Sigmar, very Signar from Privateer, kind of like a cross between a Mechanicus, steampunk kind of type feel here, and I'm really digging this one. So there's that, and all sorts of wiring, harnesses, more wiring harnesses, then you got servo arms for days, all the stuff that you would expect to see here with it, and then of course the Mechanicum axe itself with a bile arm, kind of, I don't even know what all these parts are. I guess this is the other arm right there. some sort of, is that a skull? Is that a servo skull? I can't tell. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. It's a little servo skull. Wow, check that out. So just kind of popping off there. Here's another like servo skull kind of sticking up. The plasma blaster, pew, pew, and another servo kind of skull. So lots of crazy detail right there. Now this particular model is a little bit cheaper. It's 19.99 euros. Again, I think it's a cool value, you know, plus shipping. So I guess that's probably, you know, 25, 30 bucks. Obviously you're gonna wanna kind of combo up some orders there. And these guys, I really dig these. Now, I always wanted to do a little conversion with the Necron Tomb Blades when they came out and make them like droidicas. I guess they called them from Star Wars Episode 1, where they like kind of roll around and transform into those crazy laser blasting robots, but I never really got around to it. But these really remind me of that desire to do that. You can tell they're not your traditional sideways kind of gun drone type deals. They're like a straight vertical kind of drone platform. It looks like you could put or is this for the little, I guess these are the antennas right here that would attach onto those ports. Depending on how you want to do it, and then you could attach a flight stand there if you so desired, kind of drill it out, pin it, or you could do it that. No, I think that would look stupid, so I would do it this way. So that probably means that the flight stand goes right there. You can drill right into that. So a pack of 3 of these bad boys, which I guess is the minimum squadron size. And I think they have some missile drones too. I was kind of bouncing around their site earlier, checking out all the new stuff to kind of familiarize myself with what they got going on, because I always like to scoop up their stuff every couple of months when they got some new releases out there. These guys are 9.99 euros, so you're looking at, you know, about 12, 13 bucks US dollars right there. But they are really neat. They're cool. They're nice big chunks of resin, and like I said, these would look cool with any of those greater good, so to speak, armies out there. They're definitely got the styling that you're looking for, and all the cool thrusters and little sensor doodads and pew pew, little pulse gathers right there. So that is pretty much all of the new stuff that I found on their site to check out. I think they got some more great hits right here, and of course they got those Gene Stealer cards over there that everybody seems to talk about as well. All sorts of new upgrade heads, shoulder pads, bits, anything you want counts as for Warhammer 40k or even fantasy, or just some one-off stuff for any of your games out there. And make sure you check out wargameexclusive.com. Now, if you like all of our video features, make sure you subscribe to this channel here. And you can support us over on Patreon to get a box of miniature swag delivered to your door every month in the mail from us for your support. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.